Woo. Okay, so surprise, surprise, I thought the whole series was going to be released, but I completely forgot how Hulu does their thing. They release it episode by episode. So I'm only going to be reviewing the pilot episode of 11/22/63. Now, prior to this, I even thought back then, like when the show was announced, I was like, I want to make a review of this and I want to, actually enjoy this series. But before I can do that, I got to read the book. So yeah, I read the book. And so far, I know this is going to be a thing that people are going to be pointing out a lot, all this shit, but the book was better. Yes, that is a blanket statement that's been used so many goddamn times, blah, blah, blah. But that is my way of saying, read the book because you will appreciate the book. Because the book is itself really good by itself. Besides that, though, the show. Well, let's just get into it. Okay, so if you know nothing of the show, borderline, here's the premise. Pretty much a guy named Jake Epping from our time is given the offer from his friend Al Templeton, a diner owner, who discovers a kind of what he says rabbit hole, a time vortex that's in his cupboard at the diner. And pretty much the whole plot is Jake Epping is given the opportunity to go back in time to save JFK from being assassinated. That is borderline the whole thing, and pretty much when he goes back in time, he eventually starts, to accustom his life, and he starts to get too connected to the past. That is all I'm saying. That is as much as I'm going to say spoiler, because I've read the book, all that shit. I don't want to say anything else. But they take a lot of creative freedoms in this show. Now, that is not a bad thing. Personally, when I was watching it, I was like, oh shit, you changed this, oh, you changed that. Because they, just off the bat, they changed a lot. And I understand that. And they changed like the pacing, they changed a lot of the stuff. They changed like, oh, these certain events happened before this or happened to that. A lot of big moments are just brushed off to the side. And that kind of annoyed me, but I can understand why they're doing it because, they're changing it for a different medium. But it still kind of annoyed me. I mean, it's big moments that were supposed to be like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. Like, why did that happen? Or why did this happen? It's just blanketed over in this show. And again, I can understand why they did it, but I don't like they did it. So that's just a personal preference. But what I did like about the show, how the book builds up certain things. This one jumps right in. What I mean by that, it jumps right into like the lore. He directly goes to Dallas instead of staying in Maine. Now, at first, when I was comparing the show and the book, I thought they were skipping a whole chunk of the book. I'm talking about they jumped from like the beginning to like the middle, and I was like, holy crap, what are you doing? But I understand why they did this. They were giving us a taste of what to come. They were giving us a sign of like, this is what's gonna happen for the rest of it. But I kind of understand why they did that. It's the pilot. It's supposed to show you what they're gonna be, showing most of. The pilot is meant to bring you in. It's supposed to show you the main bulk story. But now, where the pilot ends, we get to see the side story or like the beginning story. You'll understand what I mean. So yeah, everything about the show is pretty good. Like the set design and the costume design's pretty spot on. It's giving me like the Mad Men like kind of vibe where it's like they really did their homework. They really, put a lot of effort into like, trying to pretty much make you believe that you actually went back in time with Jake Epping to this actual timeline. Now, speaking of Jake Epping, character-wise, again, they did change things. Like his name is no longer George Amberson, how it was in the book. It's now James Amberson, so he's able to go by his normal name, Jake. I don't know why they really did that. They might have done that because of James Franco. They did, that's kind of dumb, but whatever. James Franco. Character-wise, according to the book, he is again, maybe too soon to, judge this, but he's a lot more different. He makes a lot of mistakes. He makes a lot of he's making a lot of problems for himself that I'm looking at and I'm thinking, yeah, why would you do that? Oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But again, this is the first episode, and I seek what they did, and I understand what they did, because at first when I was watching this episode, again, not trying to spoil anything, but I thought they were going to just cut out a lot of the story. But thankfully they didn't. They're just reorganizing things. They're just making it different, so far it's looking good. I actually enjoy this show. Having read the book aside, stupid. Oh yeah, anyone who tells you, oh, the book is better, that just makes me want to read the book, which you should. The book is good, but the show itself is enjoyable. Differences aside, all the things tidbits aside, It's an enjoyable show. It hooked me in. It hit all the right check marks. Everything is great about this. Again, character differences. All these things are different, but I can still find joy in it. I mean, it's a sci-fi TV show with mystery and thriller elements. All the right markings for me, to get me hooked in. But regardless of that, this is just mostly for the pilot. Yeah, I recommend a watch. And if you're interested in this, then I honestly might, you might be interested in the rest of the series. And if you like this series, then read the book, because the book so far is it's a much better story told. Well, that's the video. And yeah, so far this is looking like a good series. I will hopefully be making a review at the end of the show. I don't want to be doing weekly episodes, but by the end of it, like the whole thing is revealed, because I know it, because Hulu does week by week. Once this is all done, hopefully I will be making a whole not season, because I know it's a mini series, whole mini series review. But yeah, till then, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later.